Hello, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I am going to talk about the disability ratings or the diagnostic codes that we get when we're rated through the VA. Okay, I'm just gonna give a full disclaimer. I do not work for the Department of Veterans Affairs. Okay, my only affiliation to the Veterans Administration is that I am a veteran. I'm just a veteran trying to give other veterans information on different topics related to disability claims or our ratings or anything in that arena. So now I do have notes, so if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. I also have my computer up because I want to kind of look up things and kind of give you an idea how I find the different things when I was working on getting my percentage increase. So first of all, I like to say that I usually go to the CFR, which is 38 CFR, is the federal regulation that I go to. That regulation deals with the Schedule for Ratings of Disabilities. So it's no secret that the CFR, which they have an electronic CFR, it's not a secret that that document is out there for us veterans to look at. So I think when we get our rating done, this is the regulation that VA is looking at. So what I'm gonna do is, and like I said, it is 38 CFR, and I am looking at Part 4. Part 4 is the Schedule for Rating Disabilities, and in that part, there are two subparts. They have a subpart A and a subpart B. So the subpart A is the general policies in the rating. So let me go to, let's see, we'll go to the top of this page. So what I did is I typed in ECFR.gov, and that's going to take you to the site. So the electronic code for federal regulations. And like I said, there is a Part 4 is the Schedule for the Ratings of Disabilities, and then the subpart. So general policy and ratings. I'm not gonna read through all of them because there's quite a few of them. So this section talks about, like, the combined rating table is in there, functions of impairments, total disability rating. So any questions that you guys may have related to your ratings or the combined table, the unemployable, application for rating schedule, it is in here. So definitely, I will link the website below so that you can, matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure I link the exact website with the little things at the end so that you can go straight to it, and I'll take a couple of screenshots so that you can see what it looks like. And this CFR was just updated on December the 11th. So this is the most current for you guys to be taking a look at. And then Part B, because I said there was a subpart A and B. Subpart B deals with the disability ratings, and it goes from the musculoskeletal system. They have the organs of special senses, which that's your vision. Then they have impaired, let me see, we got, infectious diseases and immune diseases. So it breaks it down based on the types of ailments, okay? So now the one thing that I do know, usually what I do, and when you're looking at this, you're gonna see all of these, and as you scroll down, it goes into subpart A. And it'll go through and talk about all of the different ones. You can always go back to the top. But once you get through subpart A, subpart B, it'll go into the disability ratings. And what happens is it kind of talks about, it shows you different things up there. And then once you go further down, it'll show you what, for whatever ailment, what percentage or what rating you can get. Okay, so let me tell you how I'm saying that. So I want you to kind of understand the full big picture. So when I initially, prior to becoming 100%, I have a thing where I like to research. I like to research everything. I think it helps me understand what they're looking at. And my thing was, let me see, the first thing that I looked up, my last rating prior to coming 100%, I have plantar fasciitis. Flat feet, have flat feet. After I got in the military, I guess, they were flat. So I did a claim for plantar fasciitis. Well, I wanted to see what were the possibilities, like what were my rating possibilities? And I think everybody should know what their rating possibilities are. So what I did was, now I go to Google. All right, so hold on, let me turn this just a little bit. All right, so I go to Google, and what I do is I type in VA Diagnostic Code for, and I put in plantar fasciitis. Yeah, the feet thing. Because initially I didn't realize what it was until I woke up one morning and I could barely walk. And I went to the podiatrist, and then I learned what the heck it was. So now what I do is I go into Google and search the code. So boom, I got the code. The code for the plantar fasciitis is 5276. Now, you jot down your code. I jotted down my code, and then I go back to CFR, the ECFR, electronic. And then what I did was, down below the subpart B, if you scroll down, now this was 52, the initial, it starts off at 5,000. 5,000 is, it looks like a big word that I don't even know, but it doesn't relate to me. So like the next one, let's say 5,001 is bone and joints, tuberculosis of active or inactive. I don't know what it is. I don't have it. Then I see arthritis. So I'm going to go down to 5276. Okay, so here we have 52. Keep scrolling down. Let me see. I'm at 52. Okay, so I went too far. So let me go back. 5276. Okay, so here we go. So now 5276 shows me, and I am going to try to screenshot or put a screen recording in so that you can kind of see. So 5276 is flat feet acquired. And then it talks about the rating. So for bilateral flat feet, both of my feet are flat. And then it has unilateral. So bilateral, you would get a 50% rating. Unilateral, you would get a 30% rating. And then it talks about the severe subject evidence, marked deformity, pronation, abduction. You know how, like when you walk, like when you stand, either your feet go in like this or your feet go out. That's the pronation. I do know that because I learned that from the guy that I buy my shoes from. So I looked here, and as I look through it, it tells me severe. I have the moderate. So let's say moderate weight bearing, 10%, and then unilateral under severe objective with the evidence that marks it with swelling and all of that stuff. That's going in at 30%. So you can look here and kind of get an idea of your ailment, how it is affecting you, and then what they're looking at when they're going in there. They do the examination, and then they start looking at what is affecting you. So let me try one more. So I go back to Google, and instead of typing in plantar fasciitis, I'm gonna type in migraines, because I started getting migraines when I deployed. I got one for the very first time when I was in Iraq. Did not realize that you get something to the point where your head hurt, you feel like you're about to throw up, you can't see, everything is just, come find out, I started suffering from migraines. So now, migraines, the diagnostic code for migraines is 8100. Now, 8100 is for migraines, and then you can get anywhere from 0% to 50% depending on the severity of your migraines, okay? So I'm gonna go back to the chart, and let's go down to 8100. Now I'm in the 7s, and let's see. Yeah, it's a lot of Okay, so 78, 79, and then here we go. So so I said 8,100, so 45. Okay, so now, this is miscellaneous diseases. So migraines fall up under miscellaneous diseases. So migraine, to rate at 50%, you're gonna look at, it says with very frequent, completely and prolonged attacks, productive of severe environment, and you can't adapt. Okay, so that's at 50%. Okay, then for 30%, it talks about attacks occurring on an average of once a month over the last several months. So for me, my migraines, and nobody can tell me what's the onset of my migraine. So and most of the time I get a migraine, I wake up into a migraine. It's crazy. So my migraines were occurring about, in a month, I could get almost 3 to 4 migraines in a month. I couldn't understand. I changed my diet. I was trying to figure it out. And so when I went in to get evaluated for my migraines, my migraines started out at 30%. 30% was my initial rating. Then when I went back, because it seemed like they wasn't subsiding, I take medication for them. So when I went back for a reevaluation, and I think VA sent me the letter to reevaluate me, because they reevaluated me for my migraines as well, as my PTSD. So when they sent me the letter to get reevaluated, the reevaluation went from 30% to 50%. So I got 50% for my migraines due to how often I was getting them. I had to take time off work when I get migraines. So it's a lot of things that factors into your ratings. So the one thing is, you can research this on your own, and like I said, the good thing is that when you know what's wrong with you, they don't know what's wrong with you. You need to let them know. So when you go and you get migraines, and you get a migraine once a month, well, then they'll look at the characteristics of your migraines within the several months, and that may be only 10%. Okay, better than no percent. You can also get 0% if your attacks are less frequent. So like with my PTSD, and I'm gonna see, I did not look it up, but I got diagnosed with PTSD, and I want to say my first diagnosis, so now looking at the code for PTSD, is 9411. Wow, I didn't even know the chart went down that far. See? So let's see, 9411. So when I initially got rated for my PTSD, it was more, I wasn't having anxiety attacks when I initially got diagnosed with PTSD. So that was my, 9411. So 9411 is post-traumatic stress disorder. And so down here, my PTSD started out just with a extremely traumatic experience, right? Years later, I want to say it turned into, I had a panic attack. I couldn't get in a car. I just started having, and for weeks, I just kept having panic attacks. I didn't want to leave my house. I felt like I couldn't catch my breath. So my initial diagnosis, when I was initially diagnosed, my rating for PTSD was at 50%. When I started having the panic attacks and all of that stuff, and I didn't do a reevaluation of what it was. I had went back and forth to the emergency room probably 10 times in a 2-month period. So VA did it and upped my percentage, then did a reevaluation, and I had to go in and talk to a doctor. But it went from 50 to 70% because those anxiety attacks is serious. They were really putting me in a bad space. So that was one of the things that, and a lot of times, you know how you feel. And I don't suggest anybody, like, I personally didn't run back and forth to the VA, back and forth to the doctor. Look, everything that was wrong with me, that's what I put down. So I love the fact that there are veterans out there that do the right thing, and then there may be some out there that don't do the right thing. But me personally, I would never say, hey, you know what, why don't you keep going back and forth to the doctor, because that's going to help increase your rating. No, if you need to go to the doctor because your ailment is causing more problems, then absolutely do that. If you feel like you want to get reevaluated, you can put in to get reevaluated. E-benefits online, you don't have to write up anything. Go in there, type up a new application, or say you want to get reevaluated, or even add. Like, prior to when I first got out the military, prior to getting out, I did a physical to get out, but there were things that were not on that physical form when I ETS'd. I had IC, interstitial cystitis. Bro, I didn't even know what the heck that was. But I had these pressure on my bladder, and I was having, it was just a problem. And it happened when I was in, because so going back and forth to the doctor, even before I got out the military with my interstitial cystitis, because I didn't know what that was. But for those veterans out there that you just want to kind of get a look, I personally you should absolutely do your due diligence and take a look at whatever ailment you have. Look up the code to see what it is, and then go to the CFR and look and see what your rating would be. If you have panic attacks every other day, you can't function, and look and see what the reading is, because when they do our evaluation to figure out what our rating is going to be, this is where they go to. It's like not and this is open information for everybody to see. So I really urge you guys to definitely do that. And also, you get a chance, check out my video, have a card right here on the VA benefits 100% total and permanent. Check out that video and let me know what you think about that video. Subscribe to my channel. I try to do as many VA tips as possible. Like I said, I do not work for the Department of Veteran Affairs. I will stress that I do not. But I do like to let other veterans know things that I know, that I've experienced. I don't want to be that person talking and haven't experienced it. Anything that I talk about, I've experienced or I know of between me and my husband. Because whatever he experienced, I experienced. So hit that subscribe button as well as that bell notification. You'll know every time one of my videos go up. Okay? So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.